Hello, hello, hello. How are you guys doing this evening? It's early this evening. It is currently 6:46 p.m. on Sunday evening. Not even going into Monday morning yet. Let's not say that. And it is 28 degrees outside. It's cold, but it doesn't feel too cold outside. And I just got done with the True Crime Book Club, about an hour ago. And then I was doing a little shopping online and bought a hat from Gorin Brothers. So y'all know I'm obsessed with these hats from Gorin Brothers, right? Well, there's like a group of people that like are obsessed with Gorin Brothers hats. And so what they do is they drop these hats, right? These like exclusive limited edition hats. And then you get a text message and it'll say like, oh, we dropped these hats. But usually they never sell out. Like they might sell out in a couple of days. Well, today we were at brunch and I got this text message. So it would have been, because we left brunch about 3:15. It was like right before that, I think. And I just actually told Alex the time. Or maybe it was like right when we got to our car. I was like sitting in the car before I started it, and I like got this text message, and it was from Gorin Brothers about these 3 hats that they released. And I was like, oh my God, I love all 3 of these hats. And they were expensive though too. And but I was like, I'm obsessed with these hats. Well, I waited until the book club was done, which was at 5:30. Okay, so this was about 3:15 that I got the text message. Actually, I'll pull in here and I'll tell you exactly what time I got the text message, just to show you how quickly they sold out. Because I got on the website and 2 of the 3 hats were sold out. And I was like, and like the one I wanted was sold out. And the one I got was the one I liked the least. I liked all 3 of them, but it was the one I liked the least. These hats, you guys, are now these limited edition hats. Hold on a second, I will tell you. I know nobody cares, but I want to find out now. So, I got the text. Oh, here, I actually had it pulled up on the hat. It says, what happens when the Renaissance goes wild? Carousel capsule. So, I got the text message at, where is it at? Hold on a second. Oh, 3:01 p.m. And I bought my hat at 5:50 p.m. and they were sold out of the first 2 hats. I was like, are you kidding me? But here's what's happening. Because they just like released last week. They released like 3 other hats and I liked all of those hats. And I actually bought, I think I bought all 3 of the hats. And then I bought, I was almost going to say something, but I bought one as a gift as well for somebody. And those hats are already like sold out. So, or not sold out, like there's like 2 of them left, I think. So the thing is that then people buy them and they resell them on like Poshmark and eBay and stuff, but they mark them up like to like $150. So if you want these hats later, and they're all really cute. So then what it forces you to do is when they drop the hats, to buy them immediately. I mean, the next time I get a text message, I get text messages from them like every single day, that they've released a hat that I want, I'm gonna be like, oh, I'm buying it now, because, and Alex is like, why do you need so many hats? Because I said, oh, I just bought another one. He goes, you just bought 3 hats, the hats you bought last week haven't even come yet in the mail. He was like, why did you just buy another hat? And I said, because I'm gonna wear them this summer. He goes, what? He said, that doesn't even make sense, because they're kind of summery hats. So anyway, I love hats, which is so funny because I used to not ever wear hats. Like when I was like growing up, like in high school and stuff, I don't remember ever wearing hats when I was in high school. Isn't that funny? I also, you want to hear something else while I'm thinking of this? Like when I was like in elementary and junior high, I never wore jeans. Never. I always wore like khakis, or I wore corduroys a lot. And by khakis, I mean like different colors of like, you know, pants, like the Docker kind of pants, but they weren't, I don't know, they weren't Dockers because we didn't have Dockers back then. But you know, where they come like in khaki and blue and stuff like that. I always wore pants. And then I remember in high school, I started wearing jeans, and it was so weird to me at first to wear jeans. And, but once I started wearing jeans, like I wore jeans like all the time. Isn't that so weird? I mean, it wasn't like my mom said I couldn't wear jeans or my dad. I mean, they didn't care. My parents wore jeans. My dad, when I was growing up, if he was not working, well, in the summer, he always wore like cutoff jeans, or he wore like those sailor cargo shorts that came to like mid-calf, that came from Patagonia. My dad like wore all kinds of Patagonia stuff when I was growing up, and he had a sailboat, and so like a lot of his clothes were like sailboat clothes, you know, and sailboat clothes. But he would wear those with like boat shoes and like a t-shirt he had gotten somewhere like in the Virgin Islands or something like that. And my mom, you know, she wore the similar kind of stuff when I was growing up. They weren't like dressy people or anything. I mean, my dad, when he would go to work, he would wear dressy clothes. And I mean, my dad is a fantastic dresser. He always looks really nice for work. I mean, he doesn't work anymore, but he had the most beautiful suits. And like once a year, he would go to Mark Shale in Chicago, and he would buy all of his suits for the year. And my dad would wear, you know, suspenders and bow ties and beautiful long ties. And my dad was just a really fantastic dresser. He had just really neat style, and he loved like tweeds and like herringbone and, you know, all that kind of stuff. And you know, he just beautiful suits. I wish I could. My dad is much taller than me and much broader than me. I wish I could, you know, fit into his suits, because I don't love to wear suits all the time, but I mean, I would wear them to go to stuff if I could fit into his suits. You know what? Alex could probably fit into some of his suits. Not that he's like asking to get rid of them, but he doesn't really wear them anymore because he doesn't, you know, go to work. But then my dad would always wear, like when I was growing up, he would wear like Levi's jeans and like bootcut jeans, and he wore this, if he wasn't wearing like boat shoes, he had a pair of like, they came up like almost, you know, they were like long boots. They were like those Fry, not biker boots, I don't know what you would call them, riding boots, but they had a square toe on them, the brown Fry square toe boots that on the side had like, it looked like a golden, like, you know, what do you call it, ring on it. And he wore those for years and years and years and years. And I think he still does wear them every once in a while. Those Fry boots last forever. I have a pair of Fry boots and I love them. So isn't that weird though that I didn't wear jeans forever? I don't know why. Yeah, I don't really remember why I didn't wear jeans. I do remember though, like thinking like it was weird, like I really liked to dress nice in elementary and junior high. In high school is really when I kind of found my own style, and it was very much a thrift store style. Like I wore a lot of sport coats with t-shirts underneath it, sport coats with like button-down collared shirts that were real unique. I actually wore a lot of like sport coats, white button-down collared shirts and jeans, and then like Doc Martens, but not necessarily just Doc Martens. I think they were like, I had this pair of shoes called, the brand was Berlin, and I got them at this store here in Indianapolis that was called Future Shock. I don't think they're even open anymore, but they sold a lot of like the Doc Marten kind of shoes, but all different kinds of shoes. And the brand that I had were these shoes called Berlin, and they had this like really like, it wasn't like a heel on it, it was like the whole sole was like very, do you remember the shoes that Ducky wore in Pretty in Pink? They were very similar to the shoes that he wore, but they weren't black and white, they were all black, and they were like suede. And yeah, I loved those shoes. I wish I had never thrown those shoes out. God, I wish I still had those. I would wear those shoes today. So anyway, I made this coffee tonight that I like just grabbed a bunch from that Mods coffee that I have like the box in the garage, and I put them in there, and I was like, I pulled like 3 of this kind, which is called Mary Cherry, like M-E-R-R-Y, because they're Christmas blends. And so this one's like cherry. I'm not a big lover of anything that's flavored cherry, so I was like, I am not gonna like this coffee. But I actually really do like it. It kind of tastes like a cherry cordial, like not liquor, but like the chocolate covered cherries. Like that's what I mean. What do we call those? I don't know. But that's what it tastes like. It's like a chocolate covered cherry, which I used to hate, and I actually kind of like those now. But I still am not a big fan of like anything cherry flavored. The two flavors that I don't like are cherry and grape. I definitely do not like grape. I used to not like fruit punch, but I do like fruit punch now. Isn't it kind of funny how that stuff changes over time? I think fruit punch for me changed because my ex was really obsessed with this soda called Tahitian Treat. And I think you can get it in Indianapolis now, but like at the time when I started dating him, you could only get it in southern Indiana, and I had never had Tahitian Treat. And I can remember he was like, okay, we have to get Tahitian Treat, you have to try it. And so we got, that car just stopped right there at the, this is what kills me about these roundabouts that we had to build everywhere, right? Is that people don't know how to drive on them, and they think they're like, you stop. There's no cars coming. You don't stop at the roundabout when no cars are coming. But anyway, so I can remember trying Tahitian Treat, and I thought it was delicious. And it's kind of like a sparkling fruit. It's like a carbonated fruit punch, kind of. It's really good. So yeah, I'm all over the place tonight, aren't I, with this look? But anyway, I made this coffee, and it's really, 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 really delicious. So what did I do last night? Well, when I got done vlogging, I went and got some more water at the house, and I started uploading my vlog so that I could upload it while I slept, and it would be ready to, what do you call it, go up today, so that while I was doing the live stream and stuff, I didn't have to worry about all of that. And I think that sometimes when I'm uploading it while I'm doing the live stream, it like slows down on, who is texting me? I think it's Mel, actually. It slows down my side of things on like the YouNow stream. So yeah. So I try to I like to get it done before I go into the live stream. So I did do that, and then I got more water, and then I listened to like an hour of the Tanya Kappas book, which I'm loving. It's another one of those campers and criminals books. I think it's like book 6, book 5 or book, I think it's book 6. And I'm really, really liking it. And then the next book, I think I'm going to listen to the book that Tanya recommended to me next. I'm going to finish that. Like when I get done vlogging, I'm going to listen to the rest of it. I have exactly 40 minutes left of this book, and then I'm done. So I'm going to listen to it, and then I'm going to pull up here. God, everything in this strip mall is gone. This used to be like this bar in here. You guys, this whole strip mall that I pulled into, it's like everything is gone. This used to be a bar over here that we used to go to called Moontown Tavern. That used to be Jimmy John's. You can see it's gone. I mean, everything in here is gone. So bizarre. These strip malls all over the place are completely empty now. Okay, so Mel is sending me, hold on a second, what did she say? This is down the street from my house, but so I'm thinking about going to visit Mel. Alex has to use, did I talk about this last night? Alex has to use PTO time. And if he doesn't, then he like loses it. So we're like scheduling some trips. And so Alex is thinking about going to visit my brother-in-law in San Diego. We're probably gonna do a trip where we both go visit them, but like in like September or August. Well, not August, but September, probably. Like for a long weekend, because they're coming home soon, I think. So he's gonna go out there and visit them and do like a music festival kind of thing. So I'll just let him do that. And then I'm gonna go visit Mel in Arizona. And then Alex and I are trying to figure out like a long weekend to go to Miami. We might do it around Valentine's Day. Like the weekend before or after Valentine's Day. We might do a long weekend in Miami. And then, so I was telling Mel that I was having a hard time finding like an Airbnb out there that I really liked. And she sent me one and I absolutely love it. But it has no pool. And I really want a pool because Mel's gonna have to work part of the time that I'm out there. And so I want to be able to like lay out by the pool and just like relax and all that kind of stuff. I'm gonna go out there. It'll be kind of like a little retreat for me. When we were reading last week in the book, Drop the Rock, it talks in there about taking kind of like a spiritual retreat and going away. I think I talked about this on here, and going away for like a couple days in like a cabin and not talking to anybody and whatever. And I don't really want to do all that, but I would love to like go. I mean, I get to see Mel, you know, during the night. She said she would take one day off from work and it would be the weekend, so then she would have the weekend off. So I get to see her over the weekend. So I would hang out with her, you know, like 3 days or something like that. We had such a good time the last time I did it. But then during the time that she worked and stuff, I would love to just, you know, sit by the pool, do a lot of inventory, read, you know, maybe have a little bit of like, do some like spiritual stuff for myself, and just have a relaxing, you know, 4 days or something like that where I can just relax to myself. I honestly, like, I really was like, I talked to Alex about this. I was like, what would you think, like, if when you went to Arizona or when you went to San Diego, if I just went and like got it? Because I had said to him, what do you think? I thought about doing a cabin in Gatlinburg by myself. I mentioned it to Tanya about during that weekend getting a cabin, and she was like, yeah, that might be fun, but I don't know the dates. Like, let me look and stuff like that, because it's difficult for her with the kennel. And so I said to Alex, I said, you know, what would you think about me getting a cabin by myself and just doing kind of like a spiritual retreat in Gatlinburg? Because I can never get anybody to want to go to Gatlinburg with me. I mean, Alex would go, but that's not really like an ideal trip for him. And so we've gone once. Well, we went once together, like the first 3 months that we started dating, and like Alex was really not into it. Like, he was like, we had fun, but it was like, you know, he just was like, the idea of a cabin in the woods for Alex with no cell service and stuff like that is just not his dream. And so then we went another time with couples, and I've talked about that on here, and it was okay, but like, that was not my idea of Gatlinburg. And so, you know, I thought, well, maybe I could go and just read on the back porch and get into the hot tub and, you know, sleep in till I wanted to and all that kind of stuff. The only problem as far as like filming videos and stuff would be that the Wi-Fi in the mountains is absolutely horrible. So she sent me, I think now 3 new Airbnbs, so I'm gonna pull over here and look at it in a second. But Alex was like, well, you could do that. He was like, I said, would you think that was weird if I did that? And he was like, no, not at all. And so he was like, but you could just do something closer, like Nashville, Indiana, like it's like Brown County, Indiana. I think I would be kind of scared to do, what do you call it? Because Alex was like, well, why don't, because I was saying, you know, like, well, Mel has to work some of it. Alex is going to do like 5 days, I think. And he goes, well, why don't you come to San Diego for half of it and Arizona for half of it? And I said, I could do that. I said, but the thing is I think it's going to be, that would be really expensive. And then I said, well, I might go to Miami. I just go to Miami for like 3 nights and then just live on, like, stay on the beach, you know? And he was like, well, if you want to do that, that's fine. But like, well, if it goes the way that we planned it, we'll have just been there in February, and then we would go there again in March. So it would be like 3 trips within like 5 weeks to Miami. I mean, I love Miami, but I don't want to, that's just a lot, you know what I mean? I want to do something different. I really would like to go to Arizona and see Mel. So I don't know, let's see what she's pulled up as far as these Airbnbs. She's looking for me. Have you guys heard of Cheryl Carter on YouTube? Okay, she's this vocal coach. I found her like months ago, and I'm like obsessed with her channel. She like has these like students, they're most of them like teenagers, get in her car and then she drives around and she does these vocal lessons. But these kids are like incredible singers. This kid that she had, this video is from June. I don't know how I hadn't seen it because I've watched quite a few of her videos. His name is Cameron, and he does this, he's probably 15 or 16, I don't know. He does that Billie Eilish song, I Got Everything I Wanted, which is one of my favorite it's one of my favorite songs, period, right now, but it's one of my favorite, definitely one of my favorite Billie Eilish songs, if not my favorite Billie Eilish song. And, what's the other one? I like the fast one that's like, do-do-do. Do. That's the one I like, that Billie Eilish song too. But anyway, be a tough guy. You know that one? Wouldn't be a tough guy. That one, I don't know what it's called. But anyway, this kid is unbelievable. You guys, I got like chills listening to this and watching it. I was like, this is unbelievable. Okay, let's see what... She's like finding me like 4-bedroom houses and stuff. Do you remember the house that I rented before? I went to go see if it was available, and it's available like 2 of the days. I almost was like, I'll just rent that house again because it was so cute. This house is okay. I'm like, I'm vlogging. Can you keep looking for houses that are close? Because the problem is I don't know how close they are to where she's at. But if we can get something that's like within a 10-minute drive like I was last time, then even if she works, because she doesn't get off till late, then even if when she works, I can go pick her up, you know, and she can come over for like an hour or 2 or whatever, and we can hang out until like the weekend. She would stay one night like she did last time. And then, you know, then we can hang out like one whole day and whatever. So so she was gonna we would maybe, she was gonna see if she could maybe get Friday off, but she wasn't sure. But even if she couldn't, if I flew in Thursday and just like saw her for like an hour on Thursday night, then Friday she'd come in and hang out after work, and then like Saturday stay there because she's got the dogs and stuff like that, so she doesn't know that she can stay like 2 nights. But then like Saturday she would stay there, and then and then Sunday we would hang out during the day, and then she'd go home, and then Monday I would leave. So I'm also like, I mean, to just spend some time like just relaxing by myself and all that kind of stuff, like that would be totally enjoyable to me too. But I also would like to have a place that has like a pool or a hot tub or something like that, you know? Although I don't know how warm it'll be during that time. Like the last time that I was there, it was pretty warm, but who knows? And I also, I don't want to like get something that's like super expensive just for a couple days, you know what I mean? Ah, the coffee is so good. It is so good. The coffee is so good. Okay. I think I'm gonna go to Meijer, and I'm going to get some things that I need. I need to get, well, I want to get highlighters and pens, colored pens, for my planner, my Clever Fox planner, and little tabs too, which I had a few left. Post-it makes those little tabs. I had a few of them left, but not many, and I threw them out. I wish I had kept them because I think I had enough for that book, but I'm gonna buy some new ones because I'm gonna see if I can find something that I need. So I'm gonna go buy some office supplies because I don't really need them, but I'm gonna buy a few office supplies. And then I'm going to finish vlogging. After that, I'll show you what I got. Alex said he also wanted veggie chips or peanuts. So I'll get him both. I was like, do you want anything? He was literally just laying in bed in the pitch black, playing his game. And the dogs were like, Boo Radley was sitting up like over here by his head, and Tucker was laying down beside him. And I said, this car is like coming so close to me. Hello, hello, hello. Oh, they're going off or something. They're like this, doing this. And they like came right up close behind me. Don't take your anger on the streets, folks. Today was a good day. So got up and went to brunch at Cafe Patachou. We got there kind of late. We got there at like 3:15 and they close at 3. But we were only there for like a half an hour, and maybe it was 20 till 3. Not that really 5 minutes makes a difference, but there were a lot of people in there left. Like when we left, there were like, well, there was a couple that came after us, maybe 2 couples that came after us. There were probably 5 or 6 tables. What is going on? I hear a lot of sirens, but I just see one ambulance. That's the only ambulance I see. But when we left, there were like 5 or 6 tables of people left still. So, so yeah. And but it was good. Alex had a bowl of turkey chili with tons of, they brought him an actual huge bowl of croutons. And then he had his Cuban breakfast and coffee. I had omelet you can't refuse, no bacon, add horseradish and herb cream cheese, and crispy potatoes. Oh my God, it's sitting in the back of my car. I do this to myself every week. And bagel with cream cheese, and I actually brought home a bagel and a half of cream cheese and all of my crispy potatoes. And then I leave it in the car and I forget. So as soon as I get home, I have to take it out of my car and take it inside. I wonder what time this door closes over here. I think this door closes at 8 o'clock. I'm gonna show you guys what I have from brunch left over. If I can reach it. Oh, here it is. Okay, so this is my brunch. As you can see, I have a bagel and a half left. And then these are the crispy potatoes. So I'll be eating that when I come back. Let's see if Mel has found any other places. Any other places? Yeah. What'd she say? She said happy vlogging. She's gonna look for me. So, all right. Well, I will be back in. I'll be back in 2 and 2. Okay, I'm back. Are you so excited? What's the light? If I turn it on, is it bad? Are you so excited to see everything that I got? Okay, so I got my husband these garden veggie wavy chips that are sea salt. I know that wavy is not his favorite, but that's all they had. He does not like the sticks. I don't know what the difference is, but he doesn't like the sticks. They only ever have the sticks, they don't have the chips. And so then I also got him salted peanuts, which I couldn't remember. I can never remember. I mean, 13 years and I can still never remember if he likes salted or unsalted. But they didn't have like the name brand ones, so I just got him Meijer brand salted peanuts. And then so that was so exciting, right? Okay. And then the next thing that I got was I got 4 of these Ultra Lotion facial tissues that have lotion in them, because I've been blowing my nose a lot lately. They were on sale for $1.49. I don't know if that's expensive or not expensive, but I bought 4 of them. And what was interesting about these was 3 of them were puffs and 1 of them was Meijer brand, and they were all the same brand, or all the same price. So I was like, instead of just going through toilet paper, I'll just buy that. And then we needed some all-purpose solution for our kitchen, so I bought this multi-surface orange clove by Meijer. I think we have some Lysol in the basement. Right now I am preferring Lysol because I think it smells so like, I love like the bleachy smell that makes our house smell so clean, like the kitchen. But I think we have some in the basement where we keep stuff, not just like everything else is in the basement, but we keep some stuff stored in the basement. So we are completely out of the Mrs. Meyer's that we have. But they didn't really have a lot of scents there that I like. Like, this is not the one that I would pick for the kitchen. Like, they had lavender. I'm kind of over the lavender smell. I think the one that we have at home is like citrusy, some kind of lemon verbena or something like that, but we're out of it. I mean, like out. So this was the only one that I really liked. They had like honeysuckle and they had some other ones. I also wanted to get like a winter themed doormat, but they already have spring and Easter out. So they didn't have any, not a Mrs. Meyer's, just, you know, so they didn't have doormats that would be good doormats for right now. So that was the other thing that I couldn't find. Come on, go down. I was gonna say go downstairs. Go down there. Put it back there. And then the last thing I bought was in the office supply section. I spent way too much money. I don't know. I needed not go to the office supply section. So, but there were some things I needed. I have Post-it notes at home, but I don't have the ones that are like that, where they go, you know what I'm talking about? What are they called? I don't know what that's called. Pop-up notes. And those are the ones that fit in my actual Post-it note thing where you just pull them out. So I needed some of those. And then I got these Bic highlighters, and this is for my, what do you call it? Bic Bright Liner Grip. And these are for my Clever Fox planner. And then I also got, these were expensive, Post-it flag combo pack. Oh, $320. And you can like flag stuff in your notebook. I had these before, like a smaller pack. This was like $14.99. I couldn't believe it. Because it's Post-it note brand, probably. And then I got this pack of Sharpie felt tips. There's 12 of them in here. They're like fine, 0.4 millimeter. And they're like really fine. So I got those in all different colors. That's for my planner as well. I'm gonna be so organized and plan things out. It's gonna be unbelievable. And then I got these little, I was looking for, these are Post-it notes as well, Post-it note brand. But this is like a brand within a brand. So this brand is called Noted. It's very fancy. They have their own section and everything. And it says Noted by Post-it. Definitely delightful is what it says next to it. But this one is Plan Your Day Notes. And it has next to it like 8 a.m. through 9 p.m. And I thought, okay, this is fantastic for me because I do make a list for every day, but then on my list, I can go through and I can, because I want to write things down too and have it on my drive, I'm going to have somebody, I'm going to be like crossing things off, but I'm not going to be doing anything. And so on my note, I can like write down every day, like have to do this, meeting at this point, start getting ready at this time and all this kind of stuff. And then I'll really pay attention to it. So those are the things I got. Very excited about that. Tomorrow, I'm gonna start getting super organized. I was thinking tonight I might go to the casino. It's been a little while since I've been, I don't know, a week or so. So I was thinking I might go to the casino tonight, but I haven't decided. definitely yet. Let's see what Mel said to me. Mel sent me the cutest house in the entire world. I really love it. And it has a pool. And she said this is like, what did she say? This is really close to her. 15 minutes away. Oh, this last one that she sent me, she said super cute and super close. And it is really, really cute. And it has a great backyard, and the pool is adorable, and it has like a seating area for us and everything like that. But here's the thing. If I go to stay, I should actually go and look it up if I stay. I think it had like a minimum of 3 nights. Check availability. Friday and left on Monday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Yeah, it's expensive. Oh, well, that's actually not bad. If I did it 3 nights instead of 4. So I might do that. I might just go out there Friday, get out there really super early, stay Friday night, Saturday night, Sunday night. That would be long enough. And then, because here's the thing I was telling Mel, it's like, I have to rent a car, the air flight's out there, or the flight's out there, and then the money, or the food that I would, spend while we were out there, on top of, hold on a second, let me text her this, because I was thinking maybe. Plus the food that I'm gonna spend out there, plus boarding the dogs. So, yeah. Other than the air flight though, like it wouldn't be any cheaper if Tanya and I went to Gatlinburg, which we can really do like any weekend. I don't know, I need to talk to Tanya about like how serious she is about that. If it was gonna be super warm, I think I looked this up before. Weather. Hold on a second. Average temperature is 78. Average high is 78. Average low is 54. Let's go into read some comments really quick. I haven't done that for a while in here. Everything I wanted. Okay. Monet said, I'm sorry, Peter, but I don't like flavored coffee. You mentioned you were drinking sugar cookie flavored coffee. I wouldn't like that. I like to drink Folgers coffee. Monet wouldn't like the flavored coffee. You know what? I'm going to move around so that you guys aren't like, if you're watching this, you're not staring like right into a light, because I feel like there's like this light right behind me that everybody's like like you have to look right into. I had everything I wanted. Now watch, I'm gonna turn around. It's gonna be another light like right behind me. Well, it's not as bad as it was, but I mean, I'm in a parking lot. Okay, so I can't read the name. Melissa said, I'm a coffee purist. I think flavored coffees are weird. If you want a flavor in your coffee, that's where your creamer or your syrup come in. Just my preference. I loved it when you did driveway vlogs during the pandemic. For some reason, they seemed extra cozy. I wouldn't want you sitting in your driveway during an ice storm. However, that sounds scary. I actually thought that sounded cozy. Okay, you know what? I have a pair of reading glasses in here, but they're so old, you guys, but I pulled them out last night to look at something, and they were like, I got them off of Amazon like forever ago. I've got them tomorrow, go to this restaurant, and hopefully find my reading glasses. Okay. Jessie said, Peter, I had a lovely conversation with an Audible representative today, and she asked me what book club I was in, and I told her about you and about your book clubs and vlogs. She joined the True Crime Book Club on Goodreads while we were on the phone. Oh my God, isn't that cool? That is awesome. Thank you, Jessie Bean. Okay, Boogie said, Peter, I was watching a vlog from 2 weeks ago. You mentioned how those car clip air fresheners don't last very long. And they don't smell at all. Yeah, the car doesn't, oh God, why did I ever think about buying that one? It's horrible. Muriel, you're horrible. You're terrible. Whatever she says in that movie. I love that movie. Muriel's Wedding. Why can't I can't even get this on here? Come on. Clip on. Oh, because I had it the wrong way. Everything's just junk. Okay, there we go. Here's the hack. You mentioned how those car clip air fresheners don't last at all. So I wanted to tell you about this hack. Get the Febreze small spaces and leave it in your car. I put one in the back seat cup holder and my car smells good for months. I constantly get complaints about how good my car smells. You get you meant compliments. Okay, cute. Tammy said a rainy late night vlog that's posted at a decent hour I live. Hey, I've been trying to post them earlier. I forget sometimes, though, I know. Okay. Oh, here's Troy. Hey, Troy. Troy said, hey, Peter and my amazing family. I love it when it rains when you vlog, and hearing the rain hit the car is just a relaxing sound. Peter, just wanted to say thank you for always being supportive of us vloggerinos and mentioning the group. If you guys want to join the group, go for it, but please answer the questions. I hope everyone has the best week ever. Love you, Peter, and everyone. Oh, yeah, and one more, I love you. Happy birthday, Lena. Yeah, you know, it's interesting to me, like with the True Crime Book Club, too. I mean, I'm not a moderator in the vlog arena, so I don't know how it goes. But on a True Crime Book Club, I can't tell you how many people don't answer the questions. And Mel is the one that mostly approves all those people. So I don't know if she approves them or not, but I do know that every once in a while there's like a people that will just like, I just don't understand, like it asks you to answer the question. So, I mean, you know, if you don't answer the questions, you might not get approved. And then Stacy and Troy went back and forth and said hi to each other. So hi. Cauliflower said, your reenactment of the book narration cracked me up. Okay, our book club today, talking about the Third Rainbow Girl, was probably, like at the time it felt this way, but in retrospect, it was probably one of the best book discussions we have ever had on the book club. And we all, I think, genuinely felt pretty much the same way about the book, and that it was crap, and that it was problematic in many areas. But it was a really, I felt like a really good intellectual conversation that we had about this book. It was really fun. Bunny and Stacy and Karen all came in and guested. Mel and I went on for a while about, it just was, we went till 5:30, we went like an hour and a half. I think I was like 10 minutes late starting, so it was like an hour and 20 minutes. It just was a really great live stream today. I loved it. So thank you to everybody that came out for the live stream. I appreciate it. Okay, Teresa said, what confused me the most about the Way Down docuseries was how she thought that hairstyle looked good. So they actually addressed that in the documentary. So she's talking about Shamblin, what's her name? Gwen Shamblin from the Way Down series, or the Way Down Church, or Revelant Church in Nashville, Tennessee, or wherever outside of there. Is it Bedford, Tennessee? Brentwood, Tennessee. Okay, so do you remember the one woman that was like, looked like she was sitting like in the movie theater chair? They always had her like sitting there, and she'd been part of the church, and she'd been really close to Gwen and all that stuff. She said that everybody was afraid of saying anything to Gwen that was negative. This was one part of the series. It was like 2 seconds of the series. She said that Gwen constantly surrounded herself with yes men. Like, she wouldn't have anybody around her that would challenge her or tell her anything, because you would end up basically with these mentors and counseling, or you'd be kicked out of the church if you said something to her that she didn't like. So nobody ever challenged her, right? And she said that's why she thought that ridiculous hairstyle was good, because nobody ever challenged her on this hairstyle and said that doesn't look good or anything like that. They just told her that her hair looked great. That's the problem with having a lot of yes men. I will be using that example when I talk about Jeffree Star next. Okay, let's see. If I read like a comment and I don't really know what it's in reference to, like, okay, I guess I was talking about the comforter washing it. Diana said, okay, I can't, okay. She said, just wash the plaid bedding a couple of times and add fabric softener. That should make it, yeah, I agree. Okay. Adriana said, oh, this will be good. I totally agree about Salt Lake City and Meredith's response about being unable to be there for Jen. I had the same thoughts. I need to get to that level of honesty. You know what? That was such a powerful moment for me, because, like, I said this in my vlog that night, and I got very serious about it. I said, I just don't understand why we can't have conversations with each other like that, you know? But I don't. Like, you don't have to be an ass to somebody, you know? Excuse my language, but you don't. You don't have to be nasty to somebody. You can just say, you know what? Like, I can't. So in that, if you watch that episode, what it was that Meredith has huge issues with Jen Shah, okay? Because of things that Jen Shah has done to her son and her family throughout the last year. Point taken. I get it. Like, if I were Meredith, I would have huge issues with Jen Shah too. My only issue with it is that Meredith doesn't seem to be able to drop it. Like, Meredith, or Jen Shah and Meredith's son, Brooke, sat down and had like a very heartfelt conversation and talked about things, and Jen asked for his forgiveness and apologized to him, and he accepted it, and Meredith is still going on about it. Like, and nothing's happened between that. I mean, there hasn't been like another situation that has happened that I'm aware of. So I don't know why Meredith is continuing to go on and on and on about this. Well, when Jen got arrested or taken in or whatever happened, and they were going to Aspen for this house that Meredith rented, when they got there, which the whole thing is still so weird to me, because it's like, first of all, Meredith planned that trip that weekend, okay? They're saying that Meredith knew something in retrospect, and I'm like, well, she possibly could, because she's the one that planned that whole trip, and then that was when Jen got arrested, and they were all up there together. So then when she came up there, it was like, okay, we've put this in the past, and then people were bringing up this stuff about Jen, and Meredith was going off, and she was like, I don't trust her, I hired a private investigator, and they're like, what are you talking about? And she's like, yeah, I hired a private investigator because she came from my family for over a year. It's like, okay, at that point, Jen had apologized. At that point, I mean, like, we're grown adults, right? Like, if you're going to accept somebody's apology, then accept it and let it go to some degree, right? At least in person. If you still got issues with it, work on it. I've accepted other people's apologies and worked with my sponsor and been that, and said to my sponsor, like, I'm really having a hard time letting this go. And my sponsor will say to me, then why did you accept that person's apology? What you should have said was, I don't accept your apology. I'm not ready yet. So, with all of that background history, when Meredith was sitting there with Jen Shah, and they were all of them having this conversation, there's like, you know, all the women from the show, and they were talking about the fact that nobody was there for Jen when Jen got arrested. Whether you believe her or don't believe her, like, her friends weren't there for her. Well, Meredith has all these issues with Jen, right? And so what Meredith said to her was, I agree you need to have a friend near you. Unfortunately, because of what happened to us in the last year, I can't be that person for you. But you do need somebody, and I wish one of these women would step up other than Heather. She was basically talking about Lisa, right? And saying step up and be her friend, because she needs a friend. And I thought it was a really poignant point that was made. Like, I thought it needed to be discussed, you know? And it's like, I don't know, I thought it was a good point. I thought it was a really valid point that she brought up. And I just don't understand why we can't, like, I mean, the people that I have in my life, you know, just my personal life, those are the kind of conversations I have with people, you know, like, if somebody hurts my feelings or something, I'll say, you know, that kind of hurt my feelings. Like, I guess I'm confused, or, you know, people will say it to me or say, did I misunderstand what you meant by this? Or, you know, whatever. I mean, we have very honest conversations with each other. Not all the time, not always, but we're working towards that, you know? Tanya and I very much do. Alex and I very much do, because we've been in counseling and things like that. Well, not Tanya and I, but, you know, Alex and I. And I think that, you know, I can remember the moment that it changed for Melissa and I. Melissa and I went to lunch. I can remember we were at the Nickel Plate in Fishers, which I don't even think it exists anymore. I think it closed down. But it was this like bar restaurant that I loved. This was way before I was like, I think it was even I was on YouTube, because I wasn't a vegetarian at this time, because I was eating chicken, because they had chicken nuggets. They had a salad and chicken nuggets and fries, or chicken fingers and fries that I would get. But Jason, who is part of this band that was really popular in Indianapolis for a while called Push Down and Turn. Like, when he was like in his early 20s, Jason, like, this band was like a national band, Push Down and Turn. So Jason, for a while, when we first met them, was a part of another band. And it was like their last, like, they would perform like once a month or once every 6 weeks or 2 months. And it was like his last performance. And Melissa reached out to us and she said, if you guys can make it, I would appreciate it. Like, this is Jason's last show and blah, 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 whatever. And, like, nobody showed up. I mean, like, people showed up for it, but, like, none of the close friends showed up. And I don't remember what we were doing that night. And we really did have some, like, valid reason why we couldn't show up there. So anyway, Melissa and I, we went out to lunch and we were sitting there. And I remember this is the moment that I really think that our friendship went from here to here. I think the level of honesty and the trust between each other and the ability to say things to one another changed. She said, we were sitting there during lunch, we were having a good talk, and she said, can I mention something to you? And I said, yeah. And it had been like a week since this performance. And I said, what's going on? And she was like, you know, Jason didn't really say much about it, but I want you to know, it really hurt me as his wife that we, you know, specifically wanted you and Alex to be there at Jason's last performance. Like, we love you guys. We consider you our closest friends as a couple. And it really hurt me that, you know, we knew you had something else to show up for, but that you couldn't even make it for 5 minutes just to show that you care, right? Which at the time I can remember thinking to myself, like, oh, if we even show up for 5 minutes, then that'll look like we don't care. And she was like, had you just even made the effort, like, it really would have meant a lot to us, right? And I looked at her and I said, Melissa, you're absolutely right. Like, I feel horrible about it. And she's like, well, I don't want you to feel horrible about it. She was like, but those are the kind of friendships that I'm looking for. That, like, if I ask you to, you know, be there, that you're there. And I want to be that for you as well. And I mean to tell you, like, after that, our friendship, like, between the four of us, like, got so much closer and so much tighter, because I don't think that there was, like, a fear to, like, say that to each other anymore. And now when I know that, like, you know, if Melissa and Jason, they invite us to something that, like, you know, Melissa does a lot of, like, charity stuff with dogs. And it's just really been important for me to support her on those things, because that's something that she really believes in and she really cares about. And so when she has some kind of fundraiser, if we're here in town, it's, like, really important for us to be there for that, you know? And, yeah, and just like, and Jason's had other shows since then and whatnot, and they've shown up to our stuff as well. And I think that I don't understand why as adults we're not able to have those conversations, you know? And what's interesting to me about that is, you know, like, I adore Melissa, but Tanya and Melissa both are caring, compassionate, gentle people, but not the most, like, outwardly emotional people. Like, they're not like me. Like, they don't just cry at the drop of a hat. They just aren't, you know? And, but they're both very honest in how they feel about situations. And I need friendships like that today. I just don't understand why we can't, as we grow older, like, why we struggle with having those conversations. So that was a good point. So thank you for bringing that up. Cause yeah, I really liked that when I was looking at that the other day. So thank you, Adriana. I appreciate that. Coco Jean said, if you have an info button on your car radio, it should give you all the song title. Okay, but I can't find the info button on here. I was looking the other day. It has AM, FM, Sirius, map, favorite, audio, traffic and weather, that way, this way, tune, replay, browse. If I just hit it, it doesn't do anything. What happens if I play favorite? I don't know. Anyway, it doesn't matter. Because that song, I can see all of it. It's Inviato Vita Uatachu. Speedy Janet said, your review of The Third Rainbow Girl is exactly what people said on Goodreads. How did you and Mel pick this book? Okay, well, we talked about that at length on... We thought it would be good. I don't know. We didn't read the Goodreads reviews. We should have, I guess. Maricela said, 2022, sounds like you and Alex will have a lot of memories, trips, and then a bunch of emojis. I hope so. I love traveling with my husband. Katie said, Vloggerino forever! Lake Town said, just DNF the stupid book. Okay, so I talked to Mel about this today. You know, as one of two people that leads a book club, I feel like it's my responsibility, if I am going to pick a book for the month, that I should at least read the book that we're going to be talking about. Somebody put in here a comment, and I totally understood where you're coming from, but you were like, it would be an interesting conversation to say you DNF the book and then talk about that experience with your book club. Yes, it would. That would actually be more of an interesting conversation to have, like, I think in a BookTube video. But when you're making a commitment to a book club and you're one of the two people that is running the book club, I think it's your responsibility, whether the book is horrible or not, to finish the book, to complete the book. And in fact, there have been other, like, book clubs, buddy reads, and things where people DNF the books and they're criticized for it. You know, it's like, okay, you got all these people to read this book together and then you didn't even finish the book, right? Like, whether you think it's good or bad, like, that's your responsibility. So if we pick a book, I will be reading it. Kara said, please, if you come to California, do a meet and greet so I can finally meet you. Okay, Kara, I will. Magic Me said, there used to be a large open field right outside our house, and a circus would set up there every year. They had a bunch of dogs that could do all sorts of tricks, but could they shut the hell up when they were outside at 6 a.m.? No. That is so funny. Oh, here's Kristen. Kristen was so active in the book club tonight. Where am I at on time? Okay. So, hey, Kristen, how are you? What did she say about social workers? Cut to my second semester of college and I flunked my social work class because I refused to think of cases as numbers and people. My teacher and advisor told me that I could do the assignments correctly or find a new major. I dropped out that day and essentially ended up doing a similar job with family daycare, just without a degree. Side note, I wanted to be in Banana Split so bad as a kid. Oh my God. I was one of 3 kids that had to stay behind with a teacher. When the person that ran it asked why I'd want to be a part of it, I told them my parents were miserable anyways and were heading for divorce. It was about divorce, wasn't it? I forgot about that. So, heading for divorce eventually, so why didn't that count? They called my dad. He thought it was funny because he knew I was right, and they divorced 2 years later. Oh my God. Okay. Another Adriana said, every time Peter sings Andy Cohen's Got the 401, that little song gets stuck in my head, and I don't even watch that show, but I'm singing it. And oh my God, yes, I remember Sally Jesse Raphael. You asked, so I'm saying yes. Aha. Do you remember Jenny? Yes, of course I remember Jenny Jones. I watched all of the daytime talk shows. Andy Cohen's Got the 411, 411. I forgot we had Salt Lake City tonight, and RuPaul. Melissa said, I've read that dogs understand about 350 words. I believe that. I also think they're so sensitive that they probably can almost read each other's minds. An ear tilt, an eyebrow lift. Boo and Tucker know each other so well, I'll bet they talk all the time. I bet Boo Radley knows 3.5 words out of 350. I love my dog. I do, but Boo Radley's so sweet. Adriana said, I love so much that Peter says my name so perfectly. I had to rewind it again, huh? Like, I can't even tell you how many times people struggle to say it. Well, one of Alex's best friends from Venezuela has the same name. So, but, I mean, is it a difficult name? It's like with my last name, Monn. When I was growing up, teachers would always say, like, Moon, or they would say Moon a lot. And I'm like, there's 2 N's, not 2 O's, and you're the teacher, I'm not. Like... It stopped. I'm like, can you pull it together a little bit, teacher? Okay, do you know how to spell moon? Okay, it's not with 2 N's. Melody said, hey Peter, since you mentioned Little House on the Prairie, I highly recommend reading Karen Grassel, that's who played Ma on the book whenever you get the chance. It's close to 14 hours and she narrates it. It's very interesting, poignant, and moving, and she provides so much insight to the show. I would do that. That would be a good one to read. Kendall said, can't sleep and listening to your vlog. I've been thinking about writing, but that would mean after I get the kids to bed, I can't zone out and watch Peter. Aww. That's how Toni Morrison wrote her books, was that she would work and then she'd come home and make the kids dinner and do their homework with them, get them baths, get them into bed, and then she would write late at night when Pulitzer Prize winning novelist. Kayla said, that was a tangent if I ever heard one. Peter. Rachel said, this book, LOL, must be horrible. I would DNF and would not care. I would DNF and would not care, even with a book club. Life's too short. So many of you guys on here, I read all the comments, were talking about how high my HOA is. I think sometimes people misunderstand a little bit. There were some people that didn't, and there were some people that did. So, okay, I live in a condo. Now, I don't know where you live, but most like condominiums have HOA fees. Those HOA fees pay for any of the maintenance within the condo association, okay? Now, there were a lot of people in there that were saying, my HOA fees are $232 or $238 or $300. That's an average price, I would say, for an HOA fee. We are on the very, very highest level. I don't really know anybody else, unless you're in Florida. Like, I know people that live in Florida and they have like a pool and a parking spot and they have all this kind of stuff and a gym and daycare and all those kinds of things. And sometimes their HOA fees can be up towards of $800 to $1,000. But a lot of people were saying, I only pay my HOA fees twice a year and it's like $500. You're talking about my understanding, okay? Because most people said, like, in my neighborhood, you're talking about living in a house, like where people still have HOAs and they live in a house. That's a completely different situation. Like, because I have friends of mine that live in neighborhoods, like not every housing neighborhood that you live in do you have to pay an HOA fee, but like a lot of them you do. But like I have friends of mine that live in live in neighborhoods where you have to have an HOA or where they have an HOA and you have to pay HOA fees. And that's for maintenance within a certain neighborhood, and it's much lower because you don't have the same costs going out, right? So, yeah, but sometimes that's even worse, because if you want to put something in like a house, like in a, you know, like a pool or a fence or whatever, you can't do that kind of stuff. So I don't know. It was interesting to me. I had really never thought of it from the point of view where people were like, you know, that HOA is making $300,000 a year. I did think about that, and I thought, what the hell are we spending $300,000 a year on in this HOA? Like, I would really like to know. And they actually break it all down and they send us like the annual minutes, and I have that email at home, so I am going to read that because I want to know. I just think it's really interesting. And I know we don't have that much money in there, so it's like, where is the money going? I'm wondering how much we pay the management company to manage us. Because that would be one thing to me. Why not go for a cheaper management company, you know? You can't ever get them to do anything anyway. So, I don't care what they think of me. We've had our outs, the management company. I'm like civil with them now, but they know what I think. They're not the only management company around. Adriana said, ha ha ha. Towards the end of the vlog, you drove by some nice fields and said, are these the fields that Sting sang about? Now I got that Fields of Gold song stuck in my head. Damn it, Janet. I love that Sting song. I loved that whole album back in the day. There was this song that Sting sang, and it was about an Englishman. I take my toast buttered on one side. Do you guys remember that song? I loved that song by Sting back in the day. All right, this friend of mine from high school, her dad is from Scotland. He actually owns a restaurant here in Indianapolis. He used to own several, but he owns this like very Scottish themed restaurant now. So anyway, but like we would go and hang out at his house. Like she would like house sit for him and stuff like that when we were in high school and like after in college. And he listened to great music. He listened to like Sting and like Nancy Wilson and all of these very like easy listening kind of people, but she would put it on, and he had all these like really comfortable couches like from Crate and Barrel, and just throws everywhere. I mean, he had the coolest house, and he had stained glass windows, and she would make like these, she would make tea for us and put cream and honey in it, and these big Crate and Barrel mugs, and we would sit around, and she would light candles, and we would just like talk for hours. Like there was 3 of us that we were friends, and I think that was more like our first year of college. That was really fun. I feel like I'm getting my lisp back, but I didn't bite into the side of my mouth, so I don't know why. I feel like I'm talking over to something, and my bite has switched or something. I don't know. Oh, look, I was about to stop this anyway, and the battery started flashing, so I'm gonna get off here, and I can't believe that my vlog is done by 8:17 p.m. Who knew? Anyway, I hope that you guys are having if nobody else has told you this today, I love you. I hope that you guys are having a magically amazing Monday. I hope that you're relaxed and rejuvenated and refreshed and renewed for the week ahead. And I love you guys, and I will see you tomorrow. Bye. Love ya.